What if everything you thought you knew about Meghan Markle's fairy tale romance was actually a carefully calculated business transaction? New explosive revelations suggest that the Duchess of Sussex is already planning her exit strategy from Prince Harry, and it involves hunting down a billionaire to fund her lavish lifestyle. According to insider sources and media personalities who've been tracking this story, Meghan's marriage to Harry was never about love. It was about access, titles, and money. But now that she's discovered Harry isn't the cash cow she expected, rumors are swirling that she's actively seeking her next wealthy target. If you're fascinated by the real story behind royal scandals and celebrity gold-digging schemes, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell, because we're about to expose some seriously shocking details that the mainstream media won't touch. The bombshell allegations come from multiple sources, including media personality Megyn Kelly, who claims that Meghan Markle genuinely believed she was marrying into billions when she said, "I do," to Prince Harry. Instead, she discovered a depressed ginger with a modest fortune of just a few $1,000,000, pocket change compared to the billionaire lifestyle she apparently craved. Royal YouTube sensation P. Dina adds another layer to this story, suggesting that Meghan is now actively networking with ultra-wealthy men, using her royal connections and celebrity status as bait. But here's where it gets really interesting. Sources close to the situation claim that Meghan has been studying the playbook of another famous widow, who successfully landed a billionaire, Jackie Kennedy Onassis. After JFK's assassination, Jackie O strategically positioned herself to marry Greek shipping magnate Aristotle Onassis, securing financial security for life. The key difference? Jackie's husband was actually dead, while Harry is very much alive and apparently oblivious to his wife's alleged scheming. The evidence of Meghan's billionaire hunting strategy has been hiding in plain sight for those paying attention. Multiple witnesses have reported seeing her engage in what can only be described as flirtatious behavior with wealthy men at public events, even when Harry is present. One particularly telling incident occurred at a tennis match where observers noted Meghan's body language and attention towards Serena Williams' husband, creating an uncomfortable dynamic that had people talking for weeks afterward. According to P. Dina, Meghan's strategy involves positioning these encounters as business meetings, necessary for their lifestyle and financial needs. Harry, who sources describe as not the smartest tool in the shed, apparently buys into these explanations. Without question, the narrative goes something like this. Of course I'm meeting with X because we need to talk business. We need money. We've got this lifestyle to maintain, these private jets to pay for. But the billionaire hunting isn't just about the money. It's about the freedom that comes with it. Insiders suggest that Meghan is tired of the backlash that comes with their current lifestyle, particularly the criticism around their environmental messaging while simultaneously taking private jets everywhere. A billionaire husband would eliminate the need to justify these expenses or worry about public perception. She could live openly in the lap of luxury without having to maintain the facade of being eco-conscious or financially responsible. The problem Meghan faces, according to media analyst Megyn Kelly, is that billionaires are exceptionally good at spotting gold diggers. They can sense when someone is looking for a solution rather than a genuine partnership. At 45 years old, with multiple marriages behind her and significant public baggage, Meghan is facing an uphill battle in the billionaire dating market. These men didn't become incredibly wealthy by making poor judgment calls about people's motivations. Meanwhile, the financial foundation that was supposed to support Meghan's post-royal lifestyle is crumbling faster than anyone expected. The much-publicized Netflix deal, which was supposed to generate massive wealth for the Sussex brand, is being exposed as largely illusory. Industry insiders are calling it a passive partnership, essentially a face-saving PR move rather than a genuine business relationship that generates substantial income. Megyn Kelly doesn't mince words about the Netflix situation. This whole Netflix thing is just a ruse. We all know this is made up just to give her something to do. The so-called second season of Meghan's cooking show was apparently already filmed in full by the time the first season aired, with Netflix simply breaking it up to create the illusion of renewed success and continued partnership. The cooking show itself has become a source of embarrassment rather than empowerment. When Meghan recently released exclusive behind-the-scenes footage to generate buzz for a potential second season, the content was so mundane that it actually highlighted why she needs professional producers. The footage showed her demonstrating how to cut a pineapple by following its natural wedges, a technique that home cooks have been using for decades. Critics were brutal in their assessment. The general consensus was that there was a good reason this footage was left on the cutting room floor originally. Megyn Kelly's reaction was particularly scathing. Who the hell is satisfied by one tiny little bite of pineapple? The reason? "We cut it the way we do is because you eat it almost like a watermelon slice. You want more than just one little bite," once again proving how unrelatable she is. Even more damaging was the revelation that Meghan's most successful recipe, a one-pot pasta dish that received positive reviews, was apparently stolen word for word from Martha Stewart. This wasn't a subtle inspiration or variation. Sources claim it was a complete reproduction of one of Stewart's famous recipes, rebranded as Meghan's original creation. The pattern of taking credit for others' work while adding no original value has become a recurring theme in her post-royal ventures. The American Riviera Orchard brand, which was supposed to be Meghan's ticket to independent wealth, is already showing signs of failure. Reports suggest that Meghan is already tired of selling jams and jellies and has hinted that restocking might not happen until 2026. Industry observers interpret this as code for "there's no demand," and "I don't actually want to do the work required to build a real business." But perhaps the most devastating blow to Meghan's carefully constructed image came from an unexpected source: her own inner circle. For the first time since leaving the royal family, people close to Meghan are going on record with brutal assessments of her character and motivations. A source described by Kennedy, a popular Fox News host, revealed the thinking within Meghan's camp. When the princess thing didn't work out, she reverted to the person she was when Harry found her. She's trying to say she's exceedingly normal, which she isn't. It's all very LA actress. This insider access represents a significant shift in the power dynamics around Meghan's public image. Previously, her team maintained strict message discipline, with everyone staying on script about her humanitarian work and business acumen. Now, her own people are essentially confirming what critics have been saying all along, that Meghan is primarily motivated by fame and financial gain rather than genuine service or authentic business innovation. The source continued with even more damaging revelations. "It's glaringly obvious she doesn't get it. It proves people don't really change, and all along she just wanted to be an influencer and TV star." This admission is particularly significant because it comes from within Meghan's own organization, suggesting that even her paid supporters are losing faith in her brand and direction. The celebrity world has also begun to distance itself from Meghan in ways that were previously unthinkable. A-list celebrities who once seemed supportive are now either staying silent or, in some cases, making subtle public statements that suggest their true feelings about the Duchess of Sussex. The most shocking example came from actress Brooke Shields, who had previously appeared alongside Meghan at a South by Southwest panel. During a recent podcast interview, Shields felt comfortable enough to share what really happened behind the scenes at that event, and her account was far from flattering. According to Shields, Meghan launched into her frequently repeated story about writing to a company at age 11 to complain about gender stereotypes in their dishwashing commercial. Shields, who has built a career spanning decades and has overcome genuine hardships in Hollywood, apparently found Meghan's self-congratulatory storytelling insufferable. She kept saying she was 11, so she writes to the company, "They changed the commercial," and I go, "Excuse me, I'm so sorry, I just gotta interrupt you there for 1 minute. I was trying not to be rude, but I wanted to be funny because it was so serious." And I go, "I just want to give everybody here a context as to how we're different. I said, well, when I was 11, I was playing a prostitute." The place went insane. Shields' intervention effectively shut down Meghan's precious storytelling and brought some reality to what was becoming an unbearably self-indulgent performance. The fact that Shields felt comfortable sharing this story publicly represents a significant shift in how celebrities are willing to discuss Meghan. Previously, there was an unspoken rule about maintaining public politeness toward the Duchess, but that protective bubble appears to be dissolving. The contrast Shields highlighted is particularly brutal when you consider their respective life experiences. While Meghan talks about writing letters as a precocious 11-year-old, Shields was actually working as a child actor in controversial films, dealing with real Hollywood exploitation and industry pressures that would shape her entire life. The juxtaposition made Meghan's story seem not just self-important, but genuinely tone-deaf. Industry observers note that Shields' willingness to share this story publicly suggests that the protective attitude many celebrities once had toward Meghan has evaporated. When someone of Shields' stature and reputation feels comfortable essentially mocking Meghan's self-presentation, it indicates a broader shift in how Hollywood views the Duchess of Sussex. This celebrity rejection is having practical consequences for Meghan's business ambitions. Sources within the entertainment industry report that Meghan has become too toxic to touch, from a commercial perspective. Her association with any project brings negative attention and controversy, rather than the positive publicity that brands and platforms are seeking. The toxicity factor extends beyond just business relationships. Even celebrities who once seemed supportive, like Mindy Kaling, have reportedly made private comments about never seeing anything like the negative attention that follows Meghan's every move. When even supportive figures are privately expressing concern about the controversy that surrounds her, it suggests that Meghan's brand rehabilitation may be impossible within the current entertainment landscape. This isolation is pushing Meghan toward increasingly desperate measures to maintain relevance and financial security. The billionaire hunting strategy makes perfect sense within this context. If the entertainment industry won't provide the lifestyle she wants, and Harry can't provide the wealth she expected, then finding a genuinely wealthy husband becomes the most logical path forward. But executing this strategy while still married to Harry presents significant logistical and public relations challenges. Meghan can't be too obvious about her intentions without creating a scandal that would destroy any remaining value in her royal connections. She needs to maintain plausible deniability while positioning herself in the right social circles to meet potential billionaire targets. The strategy appears to involve leveraging her remaining celebrity status and royal titles to gain access to exclusive events and social circles where billionaires congregate. Her children's royal titles, Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet, provide an additional selling point for potential suitors who might be attracted to the idea of having royal stepchildren. However, this approach faces several significant obstacles. First, the billionaire dating market is extremely sophisticated, and these men typically have extensive security and background checking systems that would quickly identify Meghan's motivations. Second, her age and relationship history work against her in a market where billionaires often prefer much younger partners with less complicated backgrounds. Most importantly, the public nature of Meghan's situation makes discretion nearly impossible. Any interaction with potential billionaire targets is likely to be photographed, analyzed, and reported on, making it difficult to develop relationships without immediate speculation about her motivations. The timeline for Meghan's exit strategy appears to be accelerating based on recent developments. Sources suggest that she's becoming increasingly frustrated with Harry's limitations and their joint venture's failures. The longer she stays in the current situation, the more her market value as a potential billionaire wife decreases. At 45, Meghan is facing what the entertainment industry brutally calls aging out of certain opportunities. The window for successfully landing a billionaire husband narrows significantly with each passing year, particularly for someone with her level of public baggage and controversy. The children complicate any exit strategy, but they also provide leverage. Any billionaire interested in Meghan would need to accept her children as part of the package, but those children come with royal titles that could be attractive to someone seeking social status, along with companionship. Harry's role in all of this remains somewhat mysterious. Sources consistently describe him as either oblivious to Meghan's alleged scheming or willfully blind to obvious signs. His apparent willingness to believe that Meghan's meetings with wealthy men are purely business-related suggests either remarkable naivety or deliberate self-deception. Some observers speculate that Harry may be aware of Meghan's intentions, but feels powerless to address them directly. Having burned bridges with his own family and isolated himself from his previous support network, Harry may feel that maintaining the facade of their marriage is preferable to facing the reality of his situation. The financial pressures on the cheaper Sussex household appear to be intensifying rather than improving. Despite the initial fanfare around their various business ventures, none have generated the consistent, substantial income necessary to support their lifestyle. The Montecito mansion, private security, and constant travel expenses require millions of dollars annually, money that their current ventures simply aren't producing. This financial pressure creates additional urgency around Meghan's billionaire hunting strategy. Every month that passes without securing a new source of wealth increases the risk that they'll be forced to make embarrassing lifestyle downgrades that would damage Meghan's brand even further. The strategy faces another significant challenge, in the form of Meghan's reputation for being difficult to work with. Multiple sources have suggested that she's demanding, controlling, and quick to blame others when projects fail. These personality traits, which may have been overlooked when she had royal status and media novelty value, become major liabilities when trying to attract a billionaire partner. Billionaires typically have extensive experience managing difficult personalities in business contexts, and they're unlikely to voluntarily invite that kind of drama into their personal lives. The same traits that made Meghan challenging for royal staff and business partners would make her an unattractive prospect for wealthy men seeking companionship rather than complications. The public nature of any relationship Meghan enters also presents unique challenges. Any billionaire who becomes involved with her would immediately become subject to intense media scrutiny and public analysis of their motivations. Most ultra-wealthy individuals prefer to maintain privacy around their personal relationships, making Meghan's celebrity status more of a liability than an asset. Despite these obstacles, sources suggest that Meghan remains convinced that she can successfully execute her billionaire hunting strategy. Her confidence appears to be based on her past success in landing Prince Harry, which she may view as proof that she can attract wealthy, high-status men despite any personal limitations. However, the circumstances that led to her relationship with Harry may not be easily replicated. Harry was reportedly lonely, isolated from many of his friends, and actively seeking a serious relationship when they met. He was also dealing with ongoing grief and family tensions that may have made him more vulnerable to Meghan's approach than he might normally have been. Finding another billionaire in a similarly vulnerable emotional state, with the same combination of loneliness and status that made Harry an attractive target, would require exceptional luck or extraordinarily skillful manipulation. The endgame of Meghan's alleged strategy raises questions about the future of her children and their relationship with the royal family. If she successfully exits her marriage to Harry in favor of a billionaire husband, the children's connection to their father and his family could become complicated by custody arrangements and geographical considerations. The royal titles that currently benefit the children could also become sources of conflict if Meghan relocates with a new husband, or if Harry attempts to maintain meaningful relationships with them, despite a potentially acrimonious divorce. As this dramatic saga continues to unfold, observers are watching for signs of how quickly Meghan might move to implement her alleged exit strategy. Every public appearance, every business venture announcement, and every social media post is being analyzed for clues about her true intentions and timeline. The stakes couldn't be higher for Meghan. Success in landing a billionaire husband would validate her approach and provide the financial security and lifestyle she apparently craves. Failure would leave her in an increasingly precarious position, with a damaged reputation, limited business prospects, and a marriage that sources describe as increasingly unhappy. What do you think about Meghan's alleged billionaire hunting strategy? Is this a calculated move by a smart woman securing her future, or a desperate scheme by someone who's lost touch with reality? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more explosive revelations about the real story behind celebrity marriages and royal scandals. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an update on this developing story, because something tells me this is just the beginning of Meghan Markle's most dramatic chapter yet.